All right, everybody, I wanted to go ahead and talk a bit about the demonstration that I did over the weekend, and I'll go ahead and I'll play um, the demonstration from the beginning and explain a couple of things that are important. So first of all, what you're looking at is the enlarged format of the reproduction. I'll also have another video going through the exact ways in which to do that. So what's important with regards to this is that you're looking at a gessoed panel or a gessoed canvas that I've used a colored gesso for. So I don't want anybody to get confused, meaning that everybody's using white gesso. It works perfectly fine. However, for those of you that have worked with me in beginning painting, I think you'll remember that we did put a toned ground on the gessoed canvases that we used, of course, after the gesso was dry. If you're interested in doing that, by all means. So the way in which I began was to draw in a very cursory manner the sort of basic outlines or facts or big sort of relationships in a linear sense with vine charcoal on the surface. So you can see there's nothing ornate or detailed about any of these decisions, but rather just a way in which to begin to have a place to start and have a sense of where I can start establishing a set of color relationships. So really no more than 3 to 5 minutes were spent doing this. I wouldn't suggest anybody spend a whole lot of time drawing it. I think, just once again, a few cursory lines, a few structural marks that will show you where things are. So once again, your canvas should be formatted to the reproduction of what you're using so that the decisions that you make in terms of these marks should all begin to fall into place as it applies to looking at your reproduction. All right. So after having done that, you can see that I just go ahead and begin to establish a set of color relationships. And in this particular case, I'm working from the top down in a very schematic fashion. What's nice about this is that it begins to just make sense, meaning things start to fall into place as I begin to find what color relationship is next to the other. And you'll see that it pretty closely coordinates with the beginning drawing that was made. So, my suggestion is that you do the best you can in terms of adapting this schema so that you can, in fact, find where anything is, especially when you're transferring one two-dimensional image onto another one. You'll see that you'll begin to become more and more fluent with this approach, and it'll help to a large degree when you're working from observation. That's to say, when you're working from a still life or a landscape or a self-portrait or a figure. You'll have the benefit of seeing how to assemble all these complicated jigsaw puzzle pieces in the large schematic range of color relationships. So in any event, I'm hoping that this helps, and I would just encourage you to take a look at, and pause at any given time if you're curious as to how this is done. But of course, the purpose of it is to show you how to proceed as best as I can, especially for those that are working remotely. All right, let me know if you have any questions. I am going to send, once again, another video describing specifically how to enlarge your format.